Hi, so I was compelled to make this video because, I don't know what the future holds, and there's memories that are triggered sometimes much later, or there's things that you understand much later after they happen. And perhaps it's because, as the human brain, you know, as humans that we are, rather, we don't like pain. And sustaining pain means that it's almost unnatural to us. And so, I am very worried. I'm very worried about my ex-husband's actions. I'm worried about how he has utilized and groomed everyone around us. And going forward, we are in September 2024. And my entire adult life, I have had to fight this man. And sometimes with tenacity. Because the reality is that to get away from someone that has you captive, you have to sometimes suffer Stockholm syndrome. Showcase that you care so that in the end you can get out. It has been very difficult for me because I went in front of a judge that did not do right by us. And so I mean my divorce. And so it puts him in charge of us, and there's nothing or no one to stop him. And of course, I'm always made out to be that person that is the worst, or it's whatever. But the reality is that history tells you who people are. If you look back into my blog, I have been talking about the issues in my family for years. If you look into history, you will find that this judge was removed from being a head judge, and I worked in that. If you look through history, you will see that in his family, there's at least another person that I know of that has suffered the same thing I have. I think that this family harbors some level of evil. There's no way that you can hurt your own and not be evil. I recall when Mr. Torres would make me drink, and I didn't want to. He would put the cup to my mouth and say, "Drink." He would just pour it down my throat, literally. And then he would start telling me things like, "Don't you think that I am the better parent? I am with the money and the job, and you are not fit." And when I was drunk enough, he would tell me to run my car off the bridge. And thankfully, I don't know what saved me. I don't know how I got here. Maybe it was core values. I think that my grandfather is an amazing human being and is my best friend, and he has taught me good things. Maybe the teachings of my own dad, he went to Vietnam. He was a very savvy man. My sister would say that he was a man beyond his years. But he taught me a lot about survival. And I think if these two men had not taught me so many good things, I probably would have not survived my ex-husband. Everything that was done was for me to be dead or to be drunk or high or something. What they have done to my children, being their own blood, is disgusting. Unnecessary experiences my children and I lived because there was nothing to stop this man, and still to this day there isn't. We are all at his mercy. And how do I continue to end up here? I have no idea. I refuse to leave without my children. Oh, that will tell you that my children, at least my little one, I think he uses him against me. I think he brainwashes him. And I'll tell you, I think it was last year or the year before that I was really sick. I didn't know what I had, but my blood pressure was running really low and my fever was more than 105. At one point it was 109. But my son came here and I asked him for help. He told me he didn't care. And then it was in the middle of winter. He left the door wide open. I couldn't breathe, so I couldn't get up to close the door. Some people on the street helped me get to the hospital. And then he went to the hospital and cried. You know, when I hear like people in Hollywood, they say, oh, he has a handler. I believe that anybody that gets around my ex-husband, he will groom. And in this case, I believe my son's girlfriend is being groomed. And I don't think it's my ex-husband alone. Things have happened to me. We went to Florida and they did something so horrendous that it felt like a humiliation ritual. And his girlfriend was laughing wildly, almost it was just how no normal person would laugh at what happened to me. She enjoyed it very much and almost seemed diabolical. I don't know if my life is in danger half the time. My ex-husband tells me he loves me so much he wants to hurt me. And it's still happening. Last weekend, he wanted me to go and cook breakfast with him, with the boys, for the boys, and I refused. So if I say yes, it's a problem because I am sending the wrong message to my children. I am not siding with evil. I'm just not going to do it. I will not play his game anymore. As scared as I am, is as determined to not have to go through him to be able to be a mom. And I don't want to have to lose my children and my family stay the way that it is because of a man. Because of a man that was not stopped. I also know that because I refused, I will be punished. And I am being punished. My son won't talk to me. there's more to that story. I will tell you that there was a business deal done with my son and I, and it was supposed to, in essence, help my family, help us build a business for all of us. And the thousands of dollars that were invested now out of the mouth of my own ex-husband, he owns this deal. And nothing will be done unless he says so. I didn't do business with him. And in the beginning, he offered to help and he was helping. I thought, well, maybe helping his son build something will give him make him proud. But I failed to realize that we're not talking to a human species. This man is not human. This man is evil. And he is a covert narcissist, sociopath. And while people may look at him and think he is great, just know that I live scared. And I know that I can't let him close to me, but I also know that he's gonna make me pay. And the way that he usually does it is manipulating my children, hurting them. You know, he knows what your weaknesses are, and then he uses them against you. He uses tactics that are psychological to hurt you, get you to do things. He will make you the laughing stock. He will dehumanize you. And I can only imagine now, let me restate that. I know what he has done to my sons when it comes to that. He will make you feel like you have to second guess yourself, like you're being gaslighted, like you don't trust your own instincts, you know, after a while. And he's the only one who loves you. Nobody's gonna do what he does for you. It's pretty damning. It should be critically criminal, and is downright scary to deal with. It's been my whole entire adult life. I am now 51. When does this end? I don't know. But I continue to have hope. You know, my values are strong. I will not leave my children behind. And I hope that one day they'll wake up and they'll see that this is not real and that we should not be manipulated by anyone. And manipulation is not love. So, at the very least, if something happens to me, then there's a diary of what I have lived through, what I continue to live through, and how demonic and diabolical this man is. And I pray for my sons. I love you guys. I can't be okay with the negativity that he has allowed you, or he makes you think it's okay. I don't know, whatever, however he manipulates you, like I will not side with that. And I hope that you grow up enough and realize that this isn't okay either. I love you guys very much. Hopefully the next time I turn on this camera to tell you a little bit about what's going on in my life, it won't be so grim. I'm still waiting for a positive ending to this story. I'm alive. I've stayed alive. My sons are alive. And tomorrow, if I wake up, it'll mean another opportunity.